Look at me, I'm
As the NFL playoff picture reveals itself, several of the contending teams are being led by familiar names with plenty of star power under center. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson. You've seen them all before. But there's certain 6'1" journeyman joining the playoff conversation who may become the real star of postseason football. Minnesota Vikings quarterback Case Keenum has been overcoming the odds and exceeding expectations this season, and is now steering his team in the direction of the Super Bowl. While we've become accustomed to seeing the same names trot up and down the field in January and February, all but 2 of the last 14 Super Bowls have featured one of the aforementioned Brady, Brees, Roethlisberger, Newton, and Wilson. Keenum's unconventional path to his current role makes him the real underdog this season, and everyone loves an underdog. Keenum got his start in the heart of Texas, scoring 89 total touchdowns over 42 starts and leading Wiley High School to its first and only state championship as a junior in 2004. The undersized passer got just 2 stars as a high school prospect, resulting in a limited number of options for college ball. The University of Houston landed Keenum to be a potential replacement for 4-year starter Kevin Kolb, but they got much more than just a replacement player. Over 5 seasons at Houston, Keenum set NCAA records for passing yards 19,217, completions 1,546, passing touchdowns 155, 300-yard passing games 14, touchdowns responsible for 178, and many more. But, as was the case after high school, Keenum's success was downplayed. His college numbers were downgraded due to the air raid offense he played in, which allowed him to regularly exceed 40 passing attempts per game, evidently sinking his draft value. Keenum signed as an undrafted free agent with the Houston Texans, seemingly as a gesture of goodwill by the team to sign the local college hero, spending his rookie year on the practice squad. As a second-year pro, Keenum got his first start for a 26 Texans team that was struggling to score points. He lost all 8 of his starts that year, and appeared to establish himself as a backup at best. He then played musical chairs with the Texans and fenced Louis Rams in the years that followed. He signed with the Rams in 2014, got waived to the practice squad, was resigned to the Texans roster by December, and then traded back to St. Louis in March. Playing under Jeff Fisher, Keenum had a tough time getting into a rhythm or building any confidence, as he had little offensive creativity around him. Keenum started 14 games for the Rams between 2015 and 2016, going 32 down the stretch in his first year, before starting 45 in his second season. The Rams ranked 32nd in total offense both years, reflecting so poorly on Keenum that it became debatable whether he was even worth a roster spot. Since signing with the Vikings last March as a possible third stringer behind Sam Bradford and then injured Teddy Bridgewater, Keenum has done everything in his power to dig himself out of his hole and play his way back into relevancy. After losing 2 of his first 3 starts in relief of Bradford, Keenum has led the Vikings to 7 straight victories, fending off fan favorite Bridgewater for the team's starting QB job, and showing it was no fluke he broke all those records in college. Since the team's Week 9 bye, Keenum has topped 280 passing yards each week while completing at least 70% of his throws, and led his team to wins over opponents that all had at least a .500 record before they met the Vikings. Despite his elite college success, it's rather startling how quickly Keenum has risen to success after appearing destined to hold a clipboard. But it would be even more shocking and thus satisfying if he leads the Vikings past the likes of Wilson, Brees, Newton, and Carson Wentz to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. And to make this underdog tale even more improbable, Super Bowl 52 will be played in Minnesota, and no team has ever gotten to play the big game on home turf. Photos courtesy Getty Images.